Yeah, hope you are doing well. Welcome back to a session on de Broglie's numericals. Well, in our previous session, you have learned the concept of de Broglie. It's a duality concept. Electron can act like a particle as well as a wave. It has the wave characteristics as well as particle characteristics. So, let us just recap what you have learned in our earlier session. De Broglie's waves represent basically, you are aware, this is the Bohr's model, Bohr's concept of definite orbits. It is a definite orbits. Where electron is moving in the orbit, as long as the electron is in the orbit, it neither gains nor loses energy. Neither gains nor loses energy. But if you see the de Broglie concept, if you take here an orbit which is circular, an orbit here, and electron is traveling in the orbit like a wave, not as a particle, naturally. So whenever it acts like a wave, naturally wave characteristics is lambda wavelength, naturally. So he established a relation between a particle nature and a wave nature. Particle and wave nature. So in the particle nature, basically you have the concept of velocity. Here what you have? The concept of velocity. Here electron is moving with some velocity. So he established the relation between lambda and velocity So this is what you have learnt in our previous session. Okay. So how he has established, because he has taken the E is equal to mc square, which is the wave characteristics, and also E is equal to h nu. He has taken both. A particle nature. This is a particle nature given by Planck. You are all well convinced. And he has equated both. Mc square is equal to h nu. So mc is equal to h nu by c. And you know very well, h by mc is equal to c by nu, and c by nu is nothing but lambda h by mc, and c is represented as v. So this is how he established a relationship between lambda and velocity. So where lambda is inversely proportional to velocity. So if velocity is more, wavelength will be less. So this is how the de Broglie has established a relationship between wave nature and particle nature, which is also called dual nature of an electron. Dual nature of an electron. Hope you are very clear about the concept. Now, this is what it is all about. So it has a wavelength here. You can see electron is here. It is traveling like a wave, which is having some lambda distance between two crests or troughs, and also it can also travel like a particle, which has a mass and a velocity. Now we'll understand Heisenberg uncertainty principle if time permits today. Now we can also express or establish a relationship between lambda and energy or kinetic energy. You can establish a relationship. So how? Already you have studied in the earlier session. So Ke is equal to half mv square, half mv square. Agreed? Now, and naturally you can also write 2 into Ke, 2 into Ke is equal to m v square. So, and you know very well, mv is equal to 2 into Ke. You can do one thing, you can multiply with one more m, so here you will be getting m. So similarly here I can write here this as p square. P means momentum is equal to 2 Ke m, 2m Ke. You can write 2m Ke also. You can write here 2m Ke. Now P is equal to root over 2m Ke. You know very well lambda is equal to h by mv, or you can say lambda is equal to h by p. That's why you have written lambda is equal to h by root over 2m Ke, that is p. So that is what is the relationship here. It is derived. So you can solve some numericals. So what type of numericals are associated, we will see. So before getting into the numericals, let us recap what you have learned. So wavelength of the de Broglie wave is smaller if mass of the particle is large. Naturally, lambda is inversely proportional to m. So if naturally lambda is more, mass will be less, or if lambda is less, mass will be more. The square of the amplitude of the de Broglie wave at any point is proportional to the finding the probability of the particle at that point. This you learn. This is called psi. You learn as time progresses. The angular momentum of an electron is an integral multiple of h by 2 pi. It is in accordance with the Bohr's postulate. This I am going to explain again. So yesterday you have learnt mvr is equal to n into h by 2 pi, right? I can write here 2 pi r is equal to n into h by mv, and n into h by mv is nothing but lambda. 2 pi r is equal to n lambda. That means when you take a circle here, naturally now it has a circumference 2 pi r, and for example if the orbit is n is equal to 3, it has 3 waves. It has 3, you can draw properly, you can have 3 waves. You can see here 3 waves. That is the meaning. That is equal to here n lambda. N is equal to here 3. That means in this case it is 2 pi r is equal to 3 lambda. So you can observe here, this is the Bohr's concept. This is a Bohr concept, and here this is a de Broglie concept. And Bohr's concept is associated with a particle nature, and here he is associated with wave nature or jewel nature. So he has established the relationship between the same Bohr orbit, so the de Broglie format. So let us solve the questions one by one. Yeah. What is the de Broglie wavelength of an electron after being accelerated through a potential difference of 25 kV in a television set? Yeah, you know very well that in the television set, so here there is an electron bombardment actually. So that means the electrons are accelerated as per the input voltage given. Do you agree or not? Yes. Now, so there is a concept here. Here, what is the de Broglie wavelength? That means the electron is moving or it is traveling at a higher speed. So that means it is traveling in the form of a wave. That's why de Broglie's wavelength is asked. So because wavelength is the property of a wave characteristic. I hope you understood now, and you all very aware. So you know very well, if you take the next slide, lambda is equal to h by root over 2m ke. You already studied it. You know very well, ke is equal to electron volt. You already in the stopping potential you have learnt. So you can rewrite this one. You can rewrite this concept. Lambda is equal to h by root over 2m EV. Here V is nothing but potential difference. V is nothing but voltage, potential, voltage expressed in volts. I hope you understood this. So same formula you can use here. H by here MeV. So what is H value? So 6.626 into 10 power minus 34 joule second. Now here be careful here. Now 2 into fine. This is the mass of an electron. This is also fine. Now here what is given here, students? 25 kV is given. What is given here? 25 kilo. So 25 here is fine. 25 kilo means in the 1000 into electron volts. So because you have to convert everything into joules, because here what is there here? Joules is there, joule or joule. So you have to get, so that's why you have to convert this so kV voltage into joules. 1.6 into 10 power minus 19, because it is electron volts. So here what is E value? E value will be how much? E value will be 1 point charge of an electron, 1.6 into 10 power minus 19 you get in joules. So you get the answer in meters. I hope you understood. So you can see clearly here the answer is given in meters. I hope you are clear. Now let us see the next question. Yeah, if you double the kinetic energy of a particle, how does the de Broglie wavelength change? So lambda is equal to h by root over 2m ke. Agreed? So lambda is inversely proportional to root over ke. Do you agree or not? So the question is, if you double the kinetic energy of the particle, how does the de Broglie wavelength change naturally? So how much you will get if you double? So first case is lambda 1, second case is lambda 2. So that is equal to root over, here what will be there? 2. So double. So second case is doubled, right? So 2 ke by here ke. 2 times it is ke, right? You can take here. So now the ke gets cancelled. So lambda 1 by lambda 2 is equal to root 2, right? So lambda 2 is equal to, or you can write lambda 2 is equal to 1 by root 2 lambda 1. So lambda 2 will be 1 by root 2 times the lambda 1. So I hope you are very clear. It's a very simple question. Now let us see. Now you double the speed of the particle. So that means lambda is equal to h by mv. You know very well lambda is inversely proportional to velocity. Naturally lambda 1 by lambda 2 is equal to v2 by v1. Now if you double the velocity, naturally, so you'll be getting lambda 2 is equal to 0.5 lambda 1 naturally. So I hope you are very clear. Now let us solve another question, simple question. What is the de Broglie wavelength? See, the questions associated with de Broglie wavelengths are simple, but mostly you have to take care of the units. The de Broglie wavelength for an electron moving at a speed 2.46 into 10 power 6 meters per second. See here, students, the electron is moving with that is, it has a particle nature. So try to understand macro particles, like for example bus, it has a velocity. You are also a macro particle. When you are moving, you have a velocity. Micro particles, they have a wave characteristics. Macro, something is macro, so it has a particle nature. You have to make a note of this. Now lambda is equal to h by mv. So lambda value is, h value is how much? 6.626 into 10 power minus 34 joule per second. Here you should be very careful. Now here by MV, M mass should be in kg, don't write in grams. Okay, kg, and here it is meter per second. So this velocity is it, everything in the SI units. So here students try to understand, here joule second by kg meters second inverse. Try to understand students. Now the joule, how to represent the joule, try to understand. So now here lambda should be in meters, lambda should be in meters. So here kg meter square here kg meter square, joule should express in kg meter square. Here kg gets cancelled, 1 meter 1, so meter will be left out. Here you have second square, second inverse. I think the second also inverse also gets cancelled. So here second, yeah, kg, 1 second, kg meter square minus 2. Now it gets cancelled, only meters will be left out. Try to understand students. So for example here, now we'll wipe it off and check out the units properly now. Check out the units properly now. Everything you wipe it off. Now just check out the units. Now here in the numerator you have joule second. Agreed? Now in the denominator you have kg, this is kg, and here meter second inverse. So meter. So second inverse means it becomes second square. Agreed? Now joule is nothing but kg meter square second minus 2. Agreed? Now this is the thing. So now you can write here kg meter square second inverse, here second square by kg meter. Now kg gets cancelled, meter gets cancelled, seconds gets cancelled. So you get the answer in meters. So these units you should be very, very careful. So joule is nothing but kg meter square seconds minus 2, second power minus 2. So I hope you are very clear. So now let us solve the next question. What is the speed of an electron with a de Broglie wavelength of 0.26 nanometers? Now the wavelength is expressed in here nanometers. Nanometers means 0.260 into 10 power minus 9 meters. So speed you have to calculate. It's a direct question. So V is equal, because lambda is equal to h by mv. Naturally velocity is equal to h by lambda m. So h value in joule second. Okay. And lambda value you must write in meters only. Convert nanometers into meters. And this is kg. So naturally you get the answer in meters per second. How you get the answer? Very simple. So this is in joule second by this is in meters and this is in kg. And joule can be expressed as, how joule can be expressed? Simple. So kg meter square second power minus 2 into second by meter kg. So kg gets cancelled, meter is left out, and here per second inverse will be there. So meters per second is the answer. I hope you are convinced how you get the, yeah. Similarly, next question. What is the speed of the proton with a de Broglie wavelength of 0.260 nanometers? So same thing only, same thing. But here there is a small problem. What is the problem, students? Here you have to write the mass of the electron. Here what is asked? Electron is asked in the first question. What is asked in the second question? Proton is asked. You know very well which mass is more? Naturally proton mass is more. When proton mass is more, what happens? So which has 1527 meters per second. So velocity will be less. Naturally, you know very well, velocity and mass are inversely proportional. V is inversely proportional to m. You check out here if you want. Okay, and it is proved here because the mass of proton is greater than mass of electron. So very technically, every numerical you have to learn thoroughly. It's not that you have learned, you have done something else. It's not that. So you have to analyze critically. Now let us see the next question. What is the de Broglie wavelength of 217 grams baseball with a speed of, very simple direct question. So here, students, you should be very, very careful. Here grams is given. If you take grams, you will be in trouble. You don't get the answer in meters. Agreed or not? So here lambda you have to find. Direct question. Lambda is equal to h by mv. But this mass should be in kg. Okay. So that's why you represent in kg here. Otherwise you will be in trouble. Students have done mistakes. I have seen many students, okay, over years where they have taken the gram and they're solving the problem. So they get into the soup. Yeah. Now, next question. What is the speed of 217 grams baseball with a de Broglie wavelength of 0.150 nanometers? Try to understand. Here nanometers is given. So 0.150 into 10 power minus 9 meters you have to take. And here this also you should take 0.217 kg. Here very, very important. So then you will get the answer in meters per second. Be careful with the unit conversion. That is the reason why I have spent enough time in the previous numericals. So how to take care of the units? Well, now let us see. This is something a J advanced question. An electron and a photon are having same wavelength. Electron and a photon is having same wavelength. If the P is the momentum of an electron, E is the energy of the photon, what is the magnitude of P by E? So P is the momentum and E is the energy. Very simple. Yeah. For an electron, you know very well lambda is equal to h by P. This is for an electron. For a photon, what is the energy? E is equal to hc by lambda. So lambda is equal to how much? hc by E. This is the difference between a photon. This is for a photon. Agreed? And this is for an electron. Now just you divide it, you will get the answer. Okay, you get it. So therefore, you get the answer. Hope you understood. So P by E, you have to calculate what? P by E. So here what is required? P. Here P by E is required. Agreed or not? So lambda is same. So h by P is equal to hc by E. Agreed or not? Now what gets cancelled? H gets cancelled. Now what is required here? What is the question here? P by E is required. Now you take P by E is equal to 1 by C. So I hope you understood. So you know the value of C. So 1 by 3 into 10 power 8 meters per second. You get the answer here. I hope you are very clear about this. Now this question asked in JEE Advanced examination. It's a very simple question. Now, but you should know the basic concept. This is for an electron and this is for a photon. Next. Now, determine the de Broglie wavelength in nanometers. So you have to first convert into meters, then nanometers. Associated with the neutron. So neutron traveling at a speed of 5 into 10 power meters per second. So velocity is given. So here velocity is given. Here mass is given. Mass of the neutron is nothing but proton mass and neutron mass is almost equal. Agreed or not? Yeah. Now substitute the values. So already I conveyed to you 6.63 into 10 power minus 34. So kg meter square already I conveyed to you. So joule value, joule. So substitute unit conversions you do. Unit conversions. So now you'll get in meters. I hope you understood. Yeah. This is nanometers. Ultimately lastly you convert into nanometers. Yeah. This is a straight question. Let us move on to the next question. What is the wavelength of an electron moving with a speed? Here velocity is given, mass is given, h is given. Just substitute the values And in the options, angstroms will be asked sometimes. You know very well, 1 angstrom is equal to 10 power minus 10 meters or 10 power minus 8 centimeters. You should know the basics. Yeah. Now, let us see another question. This question asked in IIT. A proton has a kinetic energy 1000 keV, which is equal to a photon. Let lambda 1 is the de Broglie wavelength of the proton. De Broglie wavelength of the proton. So, lambda 1 is the de Broglie wavelength of the proton. You can see here, students, lambda 1 is the de Broglie wavelength of a proton. Agreed? And lambda 2 is the wavelength of a photon. That is proton, this is photon. Agreed? Now you take here lambda 1 by lambda 2. If you take lambda 1 by lambda 2, clearly you will understand lambda 1 by lambda 2 is directly proportional to root E. I hope you understood. Root E, and naturally this will be the answer. So let us see. So far you have solved some numericals, okay, associated with the de Broglie wavelength. So in the next class, I am going to teach you Heisenberg's uncertainty principle, Hund's rule, and also Aufbau's rule, Pauli's exclusion principle, which are very vital in writing the electronic configuration. So hope you are very clear about this concept. So thanks for bearing. Good day.